This might be your last opportunity to buy Bitcoin below 99K. Yes, under $100,000. And I want everyone to take this moment seriously because we might be in a bear market for Bitcoin. I'm Bryson, and you're watching Simulacra. So it's very possible that we're in a bear market right now, a crypto winter going into 2026, and it's very possible that the prices of Bitcoin in 2026 will be down. And so historically, the price of Bitcoin has risen the year before the halving, the year of the halving, and the year after the halving. And the halving is just an event that happens every 4 years where the reward that is given to the miners for validating transactions is reduced by half. And so if we can look at this chart here, we can see that the returns of Bitcoin follow a pattern. And so let's go. Let's see. And so we know that the halving cycle is every 4 years. Bitcoin is on a 4 year cycle. And we know the years of the halving. This year's halving was, or last year's halving was 2024, 2020, 2016, 2012, and so on to the beginning of Bitcoin's inception. And so, as you can see on this chart right here, the year before the halving, so let's start 2016 halving. So 2015, Bitcoin price went up. 2016, the year of the halving, the price went up. We got a good return. The year after the halving, also the price went up. And then 2 years after the halving, which was 2018, the price went down. You can also see the same thing happen in 2014. And so we know the pandemic halving was a great year for Bitcoin. The year before the halving in 2019, we can see the return is up, it's green. The year after the halving in 2021 is also green. And then 2 years after the halving again in 2022, we all know that the stock market and pretty much all assets, including Bitcoin, fell sharply in 2022. And then we are repeating the pattern again in 2024's halving. The year before, 2024, amazing, great return in Bitcoin. 2024 was a great return on Bitcoin. And 2025, we reached all-time highs in Bitcoin. Granted, we have come down and basically given up all of our gains from the 2025 year, but the pattern has held true in this 4 year cycle. Institutions like BlackRock, they have been buying a lot of Bitcoin and they have been strangling the supply. And now we are seeing if the 4 year cycle will continue, or will institutional mass adoption lead to some other pattern or cycle, or it might not be a pattern for Bitcoin going into the future. The thing that is good to know, though, is that 70% of Bitcoin is owned by retail. And that's why I really don't think that the cycle is going to be broken, because just I don't think the global value of Bitcoin is high enough. The global adoption of Bitcoin is around 3 to 5%. And it doesn't seem like that adoption is going to go up in to the 10, 20, 30% anytime soon. And so I think just because of how small Bitcoin still is as an asset, I think we're going to stay in the 4 year cycle for at least 2 or 3 more cycles to come until Bitcoin is a widely accepted asset and a lot of people are using it as a store of value. And so, cool. So, we could be in a bear market, but how low can we go in this bear market? And so, no one really knows how low we can go. Let's just say that. We have been ranging in the 80 to 90K range for a minute, but there is a good way to figure out some good prices to look for in this bear market. And so if we go to a charting platform, I'm going to use TradingView. Let's go to TradingView. And we can see some price action for Bitcoin. And so first you go to TradingView and then you're going to go to the weekly chart for Bitcoin. And so when you go to the weekly chart, let's let's zoom out about 4 or 5 years to 2020 or 2021 or so. And so what we're going to do is just look at the places on this chart where we see a lot of like sideways movement, which is called consolidation, and just weird things happening. We're not basically seeing exuberance upward, and we're not seeing downward price action. We're just seeing like choppiness. Choppiness is good. That means something is happening. It could be an event, it could be just the market dynamics, it could be really anything. It doesn't matter. No one knows. And we can see good places to think about buying Bitcoin and where we might go in terms of price in this bear market. And so I'm just going to take a highlighter. Well, not a highlighter. I'm just going to take a horizontal line, and I'm going to mark some spots where we see some interesting price action. And so 2025, we reached our all-time highs around 126K. Let's put a line there. This is some also weird bunching and price action. Let's put a line around this 108 right here. We see some things happening around 89, 90, 87, where we're at right now. So we're going to put another horizontal line right here. Let's see. There's some weird stuff happening around the low 70s, like 71, 70,000, 68. So we're going to put another horizontal line right here. And remember, everyone, this is not deep, intense trading analysis. We are just seeing some reactivity and where it would be good to look at to get into Bitcoin this year. And so if we were doing actually trading, I would be zooming in on these prices and making sure I'm putting these horizontal lines in the exact price where I want to enter. But since we are just going to be dollar cost averaging, is what I'm going to talk about next, we just need a roundabout areas where we want to look. So we could see some more reactivity around 53 all the way down here. That's a lot of consolidation. We see some stuff happening around 63 in the middle of this consolidation here too. And so you can see we have a couple of lines, and these represent just good general areas of where we could fall in terms of price in this Bitcoin market. Obviously, I don't know if we come down to these prices. We could just go up from here and go to 1 million or 2 million Bitcoin price from here. But it's always good to go to the chart and just put some lines where interesting things happen. And so, like I said, since no one really knows where the price is going to go, how low it might go, the best thing to do is just to dollar cost average into Bitcoin. Dollar cost averaging is just buying an exact amount of an asset consistently every month, every week, every day, whatever time period that you want to. You could dollar cost average every year and only buy once a year. It would technically be dollar cost averaging if you did it over a 10-year span. And so that is really the best way to ensure you are always in the market, because no one can time the market. And so it's best to be in the market and be invested in great assets. In Bitcoin's terms, it's not really investing because it's a store of value. It's a different monetary system in general. But the point is, you want to be inside of the asset at all times because you don't really want to try to time the market. No one knows exactly what's going to happen. And so what will you do in this bear market? I really hope that everyone takes this year seriously, as I think this could really be the last year that we see a Bitcoin under $100,000. And if you were looking on a long time horizon, 10, 15, or 20 years, then prices in the 90K, 80K range, even at 100K flat, even at $125,000, when you're talking about a 10-year time horizon, is going to be really special, and you are going to be wishing you bought some Bitcoin. Just like the people now are wishing, hey, oh, I could have bought some Bitcoin when it was $10,000. But as the saying goes, the best day to plant a tree is today, and the second best day to plant a tree is tomorrow. And so I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember to buy Bitcoin at any price. Stack your sats at any price. Share this video, like, send to your friends, and I hope you enjoyed. This is Simulacra. Bye, everyone.